Hello and welcome back to Tabmania episode 4. My name is Tabika and we are back in Cities Skylines 2. It is so good to be back in this game and I hope you guys would agree as well. That's if anyone's watching. Yeah, I think for the past month my YouTube has been bugging, because I've been looking at my view counts and it's not really that high. For a series that it should get more like thousands of views and stuff, it's not really doing that. So this is your opportunity to whoever's watching this video to just like and subscribe. It's free and it will help me out a lot. To be able to get my videos actually pushed out to the algorithm, thus popping up on people's recommendations, would be quite nice. But yeah, I'm just going to show this on screen. It's like a graph that shows you people who are subscribed to people who aren't. I know that every YouTuber does it, but it is just one of those things when people work so hard on a video that they would deserve more stuff for it. Anyway, enough YouTube news for the time being. Notice anything different? Well then, if you're not, then you're wrong, because you're listening to it right now. Not the background music, but my microphone quality. Hopefully it should sound a lot better, because I've finally gotten a new microphone. After all this time, I've finally upgraded my microphone. Can you guys believe it? It probably made no difference whatsoever, other than I can just turn my voice up if I needed to, which I'm naturally quiet anyway. I'm not sure what else you're going to be able to hear, because this is the first time I'm actually using this microphone properly in a video. But anyway, enough talking, let's get into this video. Alrighty, so yeah, last week we mostly worked on this area up here, as well as adding a few things around the place, and working on this area. This was quite fun to build, but nonetheless, we have this space right here, and I think this space right here is exactly where I'm gonna build, because what I'm gonna show on screen right about now, this is a little mock-up I've done. So you'll see freeway connections right here. That is mostly all of this area and going up here. I am not entirely sure what I'm doing here yet. I will get back to that. Next up we have highway, and that is sort of this road right here. So hopefully I'll get something worked on with that. Avenues, which will basically be this area and a bit of this area up here as well. Possible connections, which is basically this part right up here, where I may add a slip lane that goes up and around into here. And also the same for this part as well. That also means a possible connection here. I gotta edit this part. Next up we have bridges, which is basically one here, and a couple more that just go over the road. I don't think I added every single part, but if you get the idea of the flow of traffic I'm trying to create, then yeah. And then last up we have the freight rail, which is basically this part right here. Now at the moment we do just have it going straight across through up to here. However, as seen by this lovely bit of text here, a rail yard will probably be going here, so if I can get a train line that links up with that then goes all the way over here somehow, then it would link up with this bit, which is a port. If you couldn't read, I'm hoping you can read, because you clicked on this video and went, I'm gonna watch this today. Good choice, I must say. But yeah, anyway, so what we got here is going to be a port soon, and that will serve this whole area. Mostly future notes for myself, but also you guys as the viewer. So a port will go here, and then from there, another port will be going around here, and maybe another port around this area here. I'm not entirely sure where I want to put them exactly, but I do know where this one's going. And that is what I need to work on today, is mostly working on this island area. If I can get that done in this episode, that would be great. So the sooner I can get this part done, would then mean I can get to work over here. So what I think I'm gonna start off with is probably the highway, and then maybe the freeway. But I think I'll get the highway in first, just so we have a rough sort of idea of what we're doing. So let's head into the road selection menu, and we'll click large roads, and I think this is the one I will need. What does this look like anyway? Ooh, kind of perfect. So what I normally use is a 6-lane road, which is this one right here. But I have just discovered we have 8-lane divider roads, which means 4 in each direction, which that is going to be handy. I need a snez. So I think I will start with this side first. Seems I want to build a bridge. Ooh, the 8-lane divider. Ooh, okay. We can work with that. So I think I will start off by placing this right here. Then I can get the rest of the road and start linking it up with is this part right here. Which now come to think about it, I need to go and get some more tiles. So I'll just get these 3 tiles for now, until later when I'll probably need more. But I'm getting those for now anyway. Any more I will just buy later if I need to. Ooh, now that does mean I can upgrade this freeway. So let me just do that. Well, I can only go up to here, but let's do it anyway. Future proofing, like so. I will possibly need to remove these, so I can grab this terrain, go across the road. I've just basically got to soften out the terrain a little bit. Now I should be able to place this road about here. That seems pretty good. Now all that's left to do is connect this up. So I think I'll go to about 160. That way I can curve it in like this. I'm then going to flatten out the rest of this terrain over here, which shouldn't take too long. And I want to roughly have it around here. Then I'll bring this to here, and then simply curve it in, like so. That looks to be pretty good. Now time to flatten out the rest of this terrain, and then soften it a little bit. That'll do for now. And again, same on the other side. Something like that will do. Then I need to replace this freeway with the 3-lane. Same on the other side. Yeah, that looks fine enough to me. Alright, then you should be able to piece together what I'm going to do next. Spoiler alert, it's on-ramps. I think this should be good for this. And pretty much straight on just for down here. That's not too bad. Nice. One on-ramp right about here, and another on-ramp right here. I'll need to add one of these here, and if I can, another one right about here. I may need to do some modifications, actually. Right. Not the best looking, but hopefully it will do. Alrighty. Yeah, there we go. Those are some big roundabouts. Wow. Alrighty, now I can just fill the terrain in properly like this. Obviously smoothing it out. And remove the unnecessary parts we don't need. Yeah, whatever. And I think that should be doing it. What? And now I think that should do it. Now all that's left to do is connect up the power lines. So let's bring this up here, bring it across there, and straight in like that. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that's one intersection done. So now the next thing to do is just bringing this road all the way across, building an intersection here, and then this goes across the water up to here, and then that goes up that way. So without further ado, let's get building this thing. Looking at my reference image, this should go to about here. Then I will need to do this. So now hopefully I can bring this here. That looks alright. It'll do the job. Right, now I need to build a roundabout here. Well, we got a square about. Not quite a roundabout. Something like that should do it. Oh wait. Right, it's a roundabout. Well then. That needs to be that size then. Okay. I will then need to do stuff like this. And then this. I do not need traffic lights here. Now that should be fine. I need to build this road here, going that way. That has to go this way, and then this goes into here. Now, again, I do not need traffic lights here, so you can go and you can go. Alrighty. This road can go here, this can go under here, that can go there, hopefully that can go here. Now again, I do not need traffic lights here or here, or here. Right, that doesn't look too bad, I like that. Okay, so then I can get that same bit of road. I can start bringing it from over this side. We'll do something like this for a moment. Then we should be able to bring this across to here and then here. I will then get this bridge and bring it here. So then I can do this. But then next I'm going to do this. So then that way I can do this. There we go. Well, that's not looking too bad. I got the highway in now, which looks pretty good. Pretty accurate to what I had. I'm just thinking about a road going here. Sort of like this. So then that way I can do that. And then all I need to do is just connect that bit up like that. And there we go. We now has a road connection. Right, well, next up on the agenda is the avenues. One roughly around here, that then goes off down this way, another one down the center, and one that just goes over this side. So let's get to building avenues. I think I will just build a road off of that, using the power lines as a guide, because that's basically what it will be following. I think they will do for now. I will sort out the traffic lights later. Okay, so we got that top bit done. I then think I'm going to bring the 8-lane divider road and then sort of have it go off this way. In the drawing, I sort of had it as a highway, then changed it to an avenue, but I'm going to change it back to this. And then I get to bring it into here. Not quite to plan, so I'm just going to remove it again. And I think I'm actually going to build off of this part right here. Then I can build out to here. But then I'm going to build this way. Then I can continue this road down. Then delete what I don't need. And then go back to placing. There we go. That looks more to my plans. So let me chuck a massive roundabout right here. Why are you like this? I designed it so there's a massive roundabout, yes? So why does 3 lanes have to go around? Do you know that there you can have another one right here so that 2 can go around? I swear if this becomes a bottleneck later, I will know why. Maybe we should build something like this where it actually has 4 things going around. But yeah, it just basically looks like to me that these 2 middle lanes are just redundant, which that shouldn't be the case. But if it is, then devs need to fix this. Because ideally you would have 2 going off this way and then 2 going off that way. So that there's 2 things you can go in the middle. But whatever. Whatever. I'm just going to try to forget that ever happened. Anyway, probably what the dev said. Anyway. Oh dear me. Alrighty, again with a 6-lane divider, we are going to build up to here, remain at this height until here, and then I can bring it down. Just bring it down to about 240. Yeah, that seems good. Alrighty, after a little bit of planning, I have figured out what I'm actually going to do. First and foremost, in this area, we will need this building. Alongside this building, which I haven't got unlocked, but I may as well just unlock it right about now. Unlock that, and unlock that. I will worry about the rest of that later, but for the time being, that is what we needed. So now we have the subway yard, so now we can actually see how big that is. Which is... yeah, not too bad. We don't have to have this here, but I would rather it be over here. So if I can fit it in, then I will. However, train yard, railway yard, whatever you want to call it, will go around here. This side will branch off into this line and that line in a Y shape or a V shape, whichever way you want to call it. It will go along this area anyway. Then I will have a train line basically going this way and another one going this way. So that the one going this way will link up with this bit right here, and the one going off this way will link up to the port right here, which will then also link up over here, and then creating a curve into this part right here. So that's what I've got planned. I think what I'm just going to do quickly is finish off the rest of this road, and then I'm going to head into a time lapse where I can get this railway yard built. And then after that, I'm going to start working on the freeways. So anyway, let me finish off this road quickly so that way I can actually finish up here. In the drawing, I sort of had this road go like that. I was anticipating if this bridge was going to be higher up than it was, but no, it's just the same level. So that means this road can actually come off of here instead, which is what I'm going to be doing anyway. Alright, now that that road's done, I'll worry about the rest of what's going in here later. Those will basically just be the roads for industry, which I'll worry about later. Seems we need to get something else in first. And like previously mentioned, that something is the railway yard, and that's going in here like mentioned. I've got to build a road basically down here. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Here we go. Alrighty, and there we have it. All that's now left to do is actually finally place the industry, which I thought I may as well do here. So all of this industry, like that. Then I need to go through and remove it where I don't want it to be. So now, hopefully, industry shall be building here. Now I can't leave the game running for too long because I really need to fix this. There's a whole area over here that needs just fixing. But first, let me show you all the things that I did in the time lapse. Again, as usual, I apologize if the time lapses are long. I have a lot to build and it was just easier for me just to do that. So, with that out the way, you'll obviously notice this industrial area over here. That's what I've been working on for the most part. So like originally stated, I think I said I was doing the highway first, and then it was like the freeways and avenues and all that stuff. So let's start right here. Got the train line connection that brings it all the way to the port here, or the cargo harbor. And wait a minute, I knew something was up. Right. I placed the wrong building in case people didn't know. That's what I did. Whatever. You know what, I'll deal with that later. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. So, this highway that I will name later because I can't be bothered right now. That highway goes basically this way. That's why there's a slip lane here, so people can use that instead of merging into the roundabout when they don't need to. So then that highway goes this way, all the way to over here for now, because I need to work on that when I come time to building up here. Which brings us perfectly over to this intersection that I made. Nothing fancy, but it is kind of cool to look at. It's not quite as what the drawing was, but it's decent enough that I hope it should work out fine. Anyway, you can try to follow the roads to see where they go. Well, let's start easy. So we got this bottom one that takes it from this freeway to this freeway, just by that bottom bit there. We have another connection just off of this road, which brings, well, firstly, that goes there. And then this path up here can lead either into this one or back out to this one. Over here we have connections leading from this side into down here, as well as connection down into this road right here. Up above you'll have this road that leads up, splits off here to go this way or this way, and then you can loop down this road if you really wanted to go down here, or you can go this way and go to here. So there are a few different ways of getting through this area, which hopefully the citizens can follow simple instructions. And I know they can't, like really I know they cannot. I'll get back to that in a minute. And yeah, on this side, it's just a simple highway going straight through. One drops down to down here, and this goes up here as well. Don't worry about it being ugly. Took me a bit just to try get this through to here because of this in the way, but oh well. That then leads us to over here, which this is pretty much as it was. I did change it up a bit here, mostly because I saw my citizens were stuck, so I just, you know, helped them along, I guess. But whatever, it is what it is. And yeah, we just got the connections going across to the other side, as well as the connections in here. As I was filling out all of the industrial areas, I saw that we needed a landfill, so I put it here. Does the job, I guess. Well, I would hope so anyway. Alright, and then that brings us over to here, which is basically the star of the show, really. I've got this road that also links up with over here, so that will be another future project to work on. However, we have got a rail yard now, both for subway and for rail. Whereas previously this linked across this bridge and around to this bridge, and then off back this way. I've added a connection point here, a connection point here, and even a connection point right here. They will also carry on this way, where I will link up something here. That is for a future project, because there's also the subway line that leads around here that gets funneled out this way underground, which I've gotta attach to something. Most likely this will be brought either up this way or down this way. I'm thinking more down this way. You'll probably have to cross under the riverbed and then come out somewhere around here. I think I would want to have a station here, so that way people can go under, or they can follow this freeway, because I'll be having another train line go through this way as well. And then that train line will link off somewhere over here, under here, and then come back and go into here. That's the plans for that bit. There's not much else I can really say on that, other than stay tuned for another video coming out soon. In other words, it'll be somewhere in the future episodes, which I upload weekly on if you needed to know that. Right, I think that's everything covered off here, besides the fact that I have got this area. Nothing too crazy, just a freeway that winds up the mountainside, which obviously I'll get through at a future point. I wasn't really sure if I continued this part and let it off this way, or if I just got this and just connected it up there, which I was going to do anyway until I saw this potential part here. But whatever, that can be left for a later time. What needs to be done today, which I didn't want to have to do, but I'm going to have to do it anyway, is work on this island. It's something that I've needed to do for a while because of this. I'm blaming it on this because that is the reason why I have to go out here. Right, so now I have to buy those and work on the thing that I need to work on. Not that I want to, but it's something that I need to do. And my citizens are gonna keep complaining because this is the only way onto this island at the moment. Which is why I wanted to build out here anyway. So people don't have to go this way, they can go up here instead. Even though I still have a lot more demand than I needed. Yeah, this may actually be a long episode. Or I'd do it in the next episode, since I already did this. So that was what I was going to do anyway. I generally try to keep my episodes around 20 minutes long. With me talking, it's probably way more. Whatever, anyway. We need to terraform. Don't really care too much about making the bottom of the sea smooth, but I'll do it anyway. Ooh, what way is the wind facing? It's going that way, okay. At what point does it change? I think it's around this area here. It's roughly around this area, I think. Somewhere around here anyway. Because I was contemplating whether or not I decide to add some of this stuff over here. I think that would make for a cool looking area. To have a freeway go over the top of all of this. Because that freeway then needs to connect up over here, which then I will have to build an intersection here, and obviously another one over here. I do have plans for highway systems, freeway systems, and whatever else I've got planned for that. So don't you guys worry about that, because I am the one needing to worry about it, I guess. I don't know. Right. I think what I may have to do is bring it off of this road here. This will then go up and around and in. I may as well try to stay in the center and then come out around here. Actually, before I do that, can I flatten out this land firstly so I can actually start building in places? What is the height over here? 4 meters. Wait, 4 meters? Oh, nope. We're going to 25 meters. Thank you very much. I think I would need to build something like this, but over here. So if that's what I need to do, then I shall be a while. I've built it once, I can build it again, I hope. Actually, it's not too hard to build. You basically just got 4 layers of roads, and just cross them in the middle, and have the road go on the top. But you build the bottom one first, then the top one, and then the 2 in the middle. And then you just connect them up. Well then, we better get into a time lapse before this video ends, I guess. Right, to keep everyone up to date on what I'm doing, I'm building one of these intersections right here. Then what I need to do is build that freeway across here. Then that goes down and I'll have to have some connections from some of these roads in here. Right? Easy. I don't know how long this video is, but there's a lot to build. So let's just get into it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Here we go. Well, I think that will about do it. This certainly looks interesting, doesn't it? Oh. My god. Why is there so much traffic here? Just why? Well, whatever. So like this intersection right here, I have pasted it right here. It's basically the exact same sort of thing. You have the cross section, you have the 4 layers, and you now have a new bridge way over here. So now that's connected up and banked up at the same time. There's nothing I can really do about that. Literally just what I tried fixing here, which ironically has cleared up. So if these can even out a little bit, that would be good. Right, whatever. So you'll see that this top freeway up here curves around and ends here. Now for the meantime it doesn't actually go anywhere because there's nowhere for it to go. It's just going to hit a wall and do nothing. But I plan for this to go straight through or drag it this way and have it go out here. Either way it's going to come out over here or over here, one of these areas. You will also see that I did connect up this road only into here and here, which it does the job, so that's why I'm just going to leave it as it is. Another thing I did was finally change this intersection to look more smoother. I added this part to make it more smoother. Which is kind of funny because I see some cars go through there and then some get cut off, so they have to go down there and then come back out here anyway. So they're basically just split here. But I put that there so it looks smoother because it was weird having it just a jagged line when this was smooth. I have changed the train line to go up here instead now, instead of going underground like it was before. So now what it does is it goes through here, under here, and comes back out right here, right where the port is. I will link up the ports in a future episode, whether that being next episode or another episode after that, or whatever else, whenever I get it done anyway. Just look forward to it, I guess. But yeah, that is now linked up with this and this. Sooner or later, I'll eventually work on the subway lines. All the buildings are here for it. So subway yard is here, and they will most likely go throughout this railway corridor that I have here. I might honestly end up filling this part in with the land, so when it comes time for me to build in this area, I can. Either that, or I can just leave it as it is, but ideally I might just go from about here and cut it off there and just fill that all in. But we shall see how we go with that, because that is a later me problem, because that is all the time I have for today. If you did enjoy this video, even though it was a long video, most likely, I don't know. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share, notify for more. Just do all that fancy stuff, and I will hope to see you in the next episode. See ya!